Good afternoon, and thanks for having us in. A 24-year-old man wanted on a rape charge is now behind bars in the Minnehaha County Jail. Last Friday, the sheriff's office tweeted that they were looking for Mondre Adams. He was booked into jail yesterday afternoon. According to court documents, the charges stem from an incident last April. The victim told police she was raped in an area just east of downtown. Adams is scheduled to be in court this afternoon. A man wanted for aiding and abetting attempted murder will make his first court appearance on Monday. The 19-year-old suspect was booked into the Minnehaha County Jail last night. He's accused of being involved in an incident last September, which started with an attempted car theft and ended with shots being fired at a driver. An 18-year-old was charged with attempted murder in the case, but charges against him were recently dropped. Two Sioux Falls men are facing charges in Brookings County accused of check fraud. Police were called to a Brookings bank on Wednesday after one of the men passed a $4,000 check. While officers were there, a second man came in trying to cash another fraudulent check. That man, 51-year-old Brian Ritter, was arrested. Police then got a call of a similar situation at a bank in Volga. Deputies were able to arrest 31-year-old Angelo Highpipe, who was also identified as the first man at the Brookings Bank. Authorities say they also found a small amount of meth and fentanyl on Highpipe. The men told authorities they were hired by an unknown person in Sioux Falls who offered them jobs cashing checks. Police are still looking for that person. Governor Kristi Noem has vetoed her fourth piece of legislation this session. The latest is House Bill 1193, which dealt with the definition of money. It would have specifically excluded cryptocurrencies as well as other digital assets. In a letter to lawmakers, Noem cited concerns that it would make it more difficult to use cryptocurrency in the state, putting South Dakotans at, quote, a business disadvantage. A group of teenagers in Sioux Falls is serving the community and learning how the city works. The Mayor's Youth Council was launched a few years ago. Each month, 12 teens meet for a different activity.
It varies from a tour of a Sioux Falls facility, learning more about the government, meeting with Mayor Tenhaken or some of the city employees, or it also could be getting out in the community.
Coming up in tonight's Eye on Callahan, meet a few members of the council to find out what they're learning. During the weather, we do have more snow on the way. Let's check in with our friend Scott Munt to see when that might fall.
Well, good afternoon, Dan. Good afternoon, everybody. We are looking at snow to redevelop as we go through the overnight hours and into tomorrow morning. A lot of this will end up falling in eastern South Dakota and western Minnesota. We'll get to that snowfall outlook map coming up here in a bit. In the meantime, mainly cloudy, central, eastern South Dakota. That will continue during the day. A couple of flurries here and there may develop, but I think a lot of this will probably hold off until we hit the evening and the overnight. So over the next 12 hours here on Futurecast, not too exciting until we do get into the overnight hours. You see, even by midnight, we're starting to develop a couple of flurries and snow showers in north central South Dakota. A light wintry mix is possible tonight in central Kettleland. That includes freezing rain. Temperatures right now in the teens, 20s, and 30s. Numbers will remain below average for today. A high of 37 in Rapid City, 32 in Pierre and Chamberlain, 31 Sioux Falls, 31 in Aberdeen. Temperatures for tonight will eventually fall to the teens and 20s, and we do have this tonight into tomorrow morning. That's a winter weather advisory, mainly for that wintry mix in central South Dakota, but it's because of snow and blowing snow in north central and northeastern Kettleland. Again, that goes out till tomorrow morning. Snowfall amounts tonight into tomorrow morning of 2 to 4 inches along and east of Interstate 29. And numbers do taper off to an inch or two for east central South Dakota. And again, pay attention to maybe that light wintry mix during the overnight hours extending into the early morning. Tonight's numbers will fall to the teens and 20s, and then for tomorrow after the morning snow, we'll bring in some sunshine. We'll try to bring these temperatures up to the middle 30s and middle 40s. 44 degrees, our forecast high in Rapid City, 36 in Sioux Falls, 34 in Aberdeen. Oh, wait until next week, Dan. You're already smiling.
Yeah.
See those warm colors trying to return? That's on Tuesday. They'll extend into eastern Kettleland on Wednesday. We'll have details of that in that 7-day forecast coming up.
Now that's a tease of what's still to come ahead. Thank you, Scott. New this midday, the U.S. House is unanimously voting to declassify intelligence information about the origins of COVID-19. The 419-0 vote today was a sweeping show of bipartisan support near the third anniversary of the start of the deadly pandemic. This was the final approval needed for the bill, so now goes to the president's desk to be signed. The World Health Organization declared the coronavirus outbreak a pandemic on March 11th of 2020. This weekend marks 20 years since Elizabeth Smart was rescued from captivity after being kidnapped from her Utah home at age 14. Now the advocate for abuse survivors has a new project. Jared Hill reports.
Elizabeth Smart found alive today around 2 o'clock this afternoon in
20 years ago this Sunday, the world was stunned to learn that 14-year-old Elizabeth Smart, kidnapped from her bedroom in Salt Lake City, was found alive after 9 months in captivity.
The biggest miracle of my life happened on March 12th, so it's definitely a good day.
Since then, the sexual abuse survivor has worked to help others. This week, she launched an online course called Wholehearted Consent. It teaches teenagers in relationships how to stop unwanted advances from their partners before they happen. She told CBS Mornings she got the idea after meeting with a number of sexual abuse survivors who were in relationships with their perpetrators.
What are you okay with? What are your boundaries? So that should you ever find yourself in that circumstance, you know what your boundary is and you know when that boundary is being crossed and you can stand up for yourself.
Smart also credits her mother's advice for helping her overcome her ordeal.
She said to me, Elizabeth, what this man has done to you is terrible. There aren't words strong to describe how wicked and evil he is. He's stolen 9 months of your life that you will never get back.
Yeah.
But the best punishment you could ever give him is to be happy.
Today, the 34-year-old is married with 3 children. She calls her life exhausting and wonderful. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
Smart founded the nonprofit Elizabeth Smart Foundation in 2011. 10 years later, she created a self-defense program called Smart Defense.